Yes. The normal policy is that for any online course, the staff or the course coordinator looks at only 50 students. The rest is given to the TAs and part-time help. But how do we know who's doing his work or her work or not? In that case, it's better to have separate groups. For example, give 50 students to the course coordinator. So let him deal with that 50 students. You deal with your own 30 students and make separate groups for 30 students. And for example, I'm a TA, I will just look at these two groups, which is part of my workload. I will not look at 10 groups. So that's one big benefit. You are distributing students to different mentors and facilitators. And each of them will look at their own groups. The second advantage would be group activities. If you want to open up group activities, you just open up to that particular group. Right? So you might have 10 different case studies on ethics, for example. And you want to give separate groups separate activities. Vinit will now show us how he creates these groups based on, again, up to you, how many students you want in that group. Do you want to randomize or you want to have it according to the surname? So you have your groups, and then the group members will only be able to interact within the group. So you have some certain group activities, and then you have overall class activities. Okay. So Vinit.
Groups will be also important since it's a science course. All of us have labs and tutorials, right? So each lab group or tutorial group, then you create a group for this, right? So to create a group, go to your administration software. So you'll see users there. Clicking on users, you'll see more options. One of which is groups. So you have to click that group.
All there? All of you there? Yes? So we go to groups.
So one option is to create groups.
All of us being here now at this particular page, on this particular page.
Right, for example, let's say Monday group 1 or any time you specify. So you create a group.
Okay, there are two options. One is auto create groups and the other one is create groups. Let's say we want to do it manually, we want to have separate restrictions for this particular group. So let's create a group ourselves. Create a group. Let's say group name, training workshop group 1, group ID.
And you don't need to fill the ID.
What is ID, by the way? I haven't been able to fill it.
It's handled by Moodle, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so we don't have access for that. Group description. Okay, and then save. And you can see you've got your group appearing here. I know others are beginning to do that as well. Tea party, tea party. Must be always. So you have your groups and you can see the members. In that bracket when it says 0, 1, these are the students who are in your group. We need to continue.
So click on a group to which you want to add it, and then you can add or remove users from that group. Right. So clicking on this, you get set of all the members in that course, and all the users in that course. So you can select that and just click add, put it in your group.
Okay, so we've got 40 people here in this particular course. We want to select a few. Let's say Vinny. So we want to have, let's say, Sunaina, and we can highlight more than one, let's say,
To select more than one, you have to click on control and then press another.
Suppose you want to click 4 or 5 at the same time. 8, 4, 5. You know how to do that? Yes? You don't want to do one by one, you just say you want to pick Prima and Xeon at the same time, so it's control. Control enter and goes to your sorry.
Control and then click add. Select them. Select and to select multiple.
And then you add.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then
If you want to get multiple, you know how to get multiple.
To select multiple, basically while selecting you have to click, press on the control button on the keyboard. You can see it. And then
Or you can also search, yes. The other option is you can also search. So let's say you want to search etc.
Still we can add.
Why is
Missing. When some is missed out,
let's say the menu
we can add.
and you want to search.
Add and remove them.
It means the person is not there or already. Yeah. So you can search and add. So you've got 4 members. Okay, back to the groups. So now you can see
This is one page.
a particular group has 4 members. Right?
Yeah.
So that's how you create a group and complete people.
You still not sure about creating a group anymore.
Are you all okay with creating a group?
so similarly you can remove the members from the group just clicking on the same group and for example edit.
Just look on your screen.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then
Just
select,
remove.
select the same button.
Suppose I don't want renew, so I'll remove it.
And then now you select from here and then click remove. So you are removing from the group. Similarly, you can have multiple groups. Also create groups works if you want to create for randomizing assignment. Right?
This is better because sometimes you have so many students, you can't pick and choose yourself. So you say, right, I want, let's say, you want 5 members per group. And naming scheme, how do you say alphabetically?
You can write that this will group and it will open.
Okay, so we'll make group 1, 2, 3 or ABC, 5 members, all okay, and you can allocate randomly or like we discussed, using the first name, last name, etc. And then let's preview. Oh. Group 1.
So you have the group ready for your target. The module itself has created groups for you. So group A, B, C, D, E, and these are the members. So all of them have 5 members in each group. That's how you select it. And that's the setting you chose. So that's how you create the group.
Okay, so please try this yourself. Naming scheme, sorry, naming scheme means alphabet and Hash or hash. Hash means numbers, okay. So you can use at or hash to find hash.
And we have group 1.
Yeah. So members per group, and again you can have different roles. Since we all have lecturer access, that's why there's nothing else. Yeah, otherwise you will have tutors and students here randomly or whatever you want, and then you will have your new group.
Now after doing it,
Let us stick to right. And that's a group with the members. Please try it yourself. And if you have any problems, do let us know. Otherwise, Rona, you can look at your activity.
What is the grouping here? Grouping is there.
the next once you have grouping in groups, the next thing you can do is group the groups, meaning group the groups becomes grouping, right? Before it was grouping the users, now you are grouping the groups. That's how it becomes. Yes. For example, a tutor is in charge for 3 groups, so you can group those groups.
Because we all are in the same course. So you want to get, remember, maybe there's an error in yours because we're using the same character, and we're all in the same course, so you need to have a different character. At is already used, so take something else. I think somebody have used A as well, now use take something else. Use a different character.
So grouping is basically grouping the groups.